name is Jason Gabriel. I'm owner and operator of Boneafide Charters in the Florida Keys, lower Florida Keys. Been fishing down here since I was about 4 years old. Grew up in South Florida, had a passion for light tackle and offshore fishing. Got on the water at a very young age and just loved every aspect of angling. Spin, fly, conventional, just loved to put my friends and my family on fish, and the passion grew to where I could actually do this for a living, which is like the greatest job in the world. There's a lot that goes behind the scenes, but it is one of the greatest jobs in the world. To be able to wake up every day and do what you love to do. It's not a job. I always tell my wife, if I ever lose the passion, it's time to move on to something else. But as long as I have the passion and the drive, I'm gonna keep doing it. What we basically did this trip is we did a little bit of what it's called running and gunning. Ran offshore, looking for birds, looking for weed lines, and basically we'd find a school on the troll, get them to eat the troll baits, and then we'd switch over to the light spinners with chunks and live baits and everything else, bring them up behind the boat, keep them interested, keep them chumming. My wife has a chum bag in the water, and we just keep them going, keep them eating, keep them happy. And then, you know, sometimes you get just schoolie, sometimes you get a 30 or 40 or 50 pounder to show up when you're sitting there chumming. Then, you know, it gets fun, especially on light tackle. Light tackle is super fun. Weiler got a nice big fish on a light rod, you know, 8 to 17 pound test, and that was a lot of fun. Went around the boat I don't know how many times. And then when you're coming back in from a great day offshore and the box is full of green, you stop in on the reef and you target some nice muttons, groupers, yellowtails, AJs, bycatch of sharks. I mean, there's a plethora down here in the Florida Keys. Main thing is, don't waste your fish. And always, you want to vent your fish you're going to release and purge them and get them down there nice and healthy, because that's tomorrow's stock. We kept a couple of these for dinner, just enough to send the boys home with some fish, but I practice catch and release a lot. We released, I can't tell you how many dolphin, and it's tomorrow's catch. It's our grandkids' fish. So the longer we keep the stocks going and everything else, the better we're going to be down here. You know, when it comes down to other people that are conservation minded and that want us to see our fishery grow, and I think it's getting better and better every year with, you know, so we had to raise the mutton snapper, and I think we should probably drop it down from 5 per person to probably 2 or 3 per person, because I see a lot of people that are coming back from those Tortuga trips and it's just rape and pillage, rape and pillage, rape and pillage. And it's like, you know what, that area right there is the breeding grounds for everything. If they start depleting all that, the trickle-down effect is going to be enormous down through the key. So, you know, you got to think about that over longevity. You know, it all plays into it because it's all about the water quality. It's all about the trickle-down effect. You know, what's happening with Okeechobee. You know, and we're seeing those effects down here. We're not completely emit from just because we're, you know, an hour and a half away from Florida Bay. We're not emit from that because it comes right down through the 7 Mile, gets out on the reefs, and we should have had at least 10 to 12 muttons. But you know what? That water quality will push them out a little deeper. So I think it's all trickle down. It absolutely is. Getting back to the mutton snapper on the reef. We're coming off the spawn right now from the May moon and June moon, but the fish are still down here. We didn't have a lot of current per se, but we were freelining. Sometimes they were just little baby chunks, and sometimes they were a little bit bigger pieces. But these muttons are one of the strongest fish on the reef, besides the cubera and the groupers. But these fish are great table fare. Awesome, and my wife is a chef, so we eat well, as you can tell. My wife, I'm very fortunate. I've only spent 9 days apart from my wife in all the years we've been together. And when we got the bigger boat, you know, I searched high and low for a dependable mate that would show up and do it with passion and be able to do what she does, but I just couldn't find it. So she mates for me full time, and then she takes care of me in the evenings. But she is great on the table fare, and she makes some of the most amazing dishes that I've ever had, and just utilizes from the cleaning table to the dinner table and everything in between. Oh my God, we eat fish probably 6 to 7 nights a week, at least for an appetizer or a main course. So there's no lack of good seafood down here, but also sustaining the fishery. That's the most important thing. But I've been blessed with having a wife that is just amazing, you know, all around. I mean, whether it's getting up at 5:30 in the morning, icing the coolers, getting the live well full, loading the bait, pulling pen traps. I mean, all around, I've been blessed to have her in my life and as a partner in my business. I've been just the most blessed person on the planet.